And we're back again with more 1001 Spikes. Didn't I tell you that we'd be back? Didn't I tell you? And what did I tell you? How did that thing go? Was that Family Guy bit with the large sassy lady and the "Didn't I tell you"? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Alrighty, so this is pretty much the same thing as it was last time. Did I ever tell you guys that I got a new N64 controller? It's a redesigned one. I might have mentioned that last episode. That was a couple weeks ago, though. So, yeah, 1001 Spikes. Same old Scorpions, same old guy. God, I'm just really distracted because of my allergies. I've just got this itch on the roof of my mouth towards the back. And it stretches all the way to the inside of my ear. It's just, ugh. There's nothing I can do about it. Just like how there's nothing the main character can do about these scorpions. They're in just the right position. There we go. That wasn't so bad. Easy peasy. So what else have I been doing? Let's see. Oops. I saw a documentary recently, just like a mini documentary on YouTube about the Smashing Pumpkins and their hit song 1979, and just the background of how that got made and how the lead singer or guitarist or whatever he was, Billy Corgan, at the time he was 28 and he felt that he was on the cusp of losing touch with the youth, and he wanted to channel those fleeting emotions of youth before he lost them for good, which he did. It's interesting to look at it now, because Billy Corgan really just kind of turned into a bitter old man, and I guess he was right that he was going to lose touch with the youth, which just makes his song all that much more special. He was able to seize on temporary emotions and create something truly remarkable. He was living in the moment. Wish I could live in the moment. God, I wonder if my tongue rubbing against the roof of my mouth to try and alleviate that itch, if that's gonna come through on the, what do you call it, on the video. Hopefully not. It's freaking driving me insane. I'm sure all you amateur medics out there can figure out what's wrong with me and why what that particular type of allergy indicates, and because there's different types, and I'm sure someone out there's gonna say, if you have an itchy roof of your mouth, that means that you have such and such, and it means you're gonna die. Ooh. Yeah, the internet's always it always overreacts when it comes to diagnosing things. I remember once my lower back was hurting and I typed it into Google and it told me that I had bowel cancer. And yeah. So yeah, you can't quite trust the internet with those sort of things. You gotta see a professional. Well, we're screwed. I'll just wait for the cold release of death on that one. So the 1001 Spikes guy, he was in, what was it called? Crystal Crisis. There's that puzzle game featuring various indie characters. Honestly, I didn't like Crystal Crisis as much as I thought it would. It's just, the gameplay feels a bit too slow compared to the game that it was based on, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. I hated saying that out loud. That was cringy as hell. Anyway, but yeah, that just doesn't feel quite right in terms of speed. Maybe the game's just not running right for me. It could just be a matter of my computer being really bad. But I doubt that it is, though. I've got the settings turned down pretty much as far as they'll go. Guess I'd have to watch some videos of the real thing on YouTube. So I mentioned that I'm done with college now, so I can start pumping these videos out a bit more frequently. We're talking 3 episodes a day type frequently. Finally got no distractions other than, work and such. So pretty soon there's gonna be videos up the wazoo. Up Scott the Wise's wazoo. Scott the Wazoo. What am I saying? What if that was his name, Scott the Wazoo? He probably wouldn't be as popular, that's for sure. It's always funny when there's a mundane response to a preposterous hypothetical. Like the other day, I posed this hypothetical to somebody. I was saying, what if Lucas Graham was called Mucus Graham, and he had a really runny nose all the time, and yeah, what then? And the person I said it to, they just had a really boring response, and they just said, well, his music probably wouldn't be very good. And they're exactly right, it wouldn't be. Oh dear. I think this level takes a while, actually. Probably the rest of this video, anyway. We have lost 40 lives thus far. Or 41, because it's 1001, isn't it? That's the number of spikes in the title, but I can't quite recall if that was the number of lives that you start with. Oh well, who cares? Okay, this one takes a while. Yeah, there's a different way we could do this if we start going down at first, but I don't think that's quite how they intended for us to do this, so that probably wasn't a good idea. But as they say on Futurama, how did it go? But when push comes to shove, you gotta do what you love, even if it's not a good idea. Yeah, that was a good episode. I always liked that part at the end where Zoidberg, he was about to start his part of the musical, and then it just cut to the credits immediately. And over the first, second of the credits, you could just hear Zoidberg go, "Aww." I mean, if they had just cut to the credits on its own, that wouldn't have been very funny, but just that small addition of Zoidberg realizing that the credits are there and being disappointed, that it just adds so much depth to the show, to the show, I guess you could say, because it makes you wonder if the characters are aware of the credits being there, or however that works, and funny stuff. I've talked plenty of times about how I feel about Futurama. I mean, in recent years it hasn't really appealed to me as much, but I think that's just because I've seen pretty much all the episodes multiple times at this point, and I mean, anybody who watches TV regularly is gonna. Say, I mean, for a while, in between the show's original run and the cancellation, they just had reruns of that same handful of episodes for years and years and years, so most Futurama fans would be quite well acquainted with the original 4 seasons. I like the new seasons too. Not as much, but somewhat. They had some good moments here and there. There was that episode with, I was gonna say with time travel, but that was the whole premise of the show, so I gotta be more specific. There was the time machine that could only go forward, and they had that musical that was a parody of that song from the 70s that I can't remember the name of. In the year something 5, if humanity is still alive, and they just did all these ridiculous things with the song. It's like, in the year 1.5 billion, humanity is enslaved by a giraffe. And I don't remember the rest of it, but yeah, look that up when you get the time. Better than listening to me trying to recreate it. Oh yeah, there's all my Steam games off to the side there if you're interested in that. I don't know why you would be though.